Hello everybody and welcome to this NFL mock draft, but today there's a little bit of a twist. No defensive players allowed. We are going full offense and offense only. There's some very highly touted defensive talent in this class like Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, all up here. Leatu Latu, edge one in this class for most people. Jerzon Newton, someone that is constantly picked inside the first half of the first round that are not usable. Everyone has to go draft. And let me know if you guys would like to see a defensive version of this and then an alternate. So like round one, I could only pick offense, round two only defense. Like that could be kind of fun. So let me know if you guys want to see any more like trick mock drafts or fun different mock drafts, I guess. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts and everything like that. But without further ado, let's get into this. I just did a 3-round mock, so if you guys are interested, go look at that. And I think I'll just do the same thing here. Caleb Williams, number 1, Marv Harrison, 2, and then I think it continues to be Drake May, and then Olu Fashanu for me. And then this is where it gets a little interesting because the Commanders, they need just about everything that is available here at these two spots right here that are both offense. Brock Bowers would be good, and it's like the same thing in both positions because left tackle Charles Leno is there. He's a viable option, just old. And then Brock Bowers, they have Logan Thomas. He's viable but old. It's just kind of which one is the better player, and for me that's Brock Bowers. And then if you're the Giants, I would hate to do this like twice, maybe go Romo Dunze to clean it up here, but Malik Neighbors we could draft here, but Joe Alt to play left tackle wouldn't really work either because of Andrew Thomas. So the only viable thing we have is either JC Latham, Malik Neighbors, and or Romo Dunze. Sure, you could shoot for the stars with Keon Coleman. I think for me it's just going to be Malik Neighbors, so not really switching it up here for my 3-round mock. I think Tristan Wirfs is playing left tackle this season, but he's played right tackle and left tackle at both elite spots. And Joe Alt to shore up another side, even though Luke Gadecki's playing well. I'm pretty sure Gadecki has guard versatility. I could be wrong with that, but there's just it's not worth like reaching down to Romo. Is it worth reaching on Romo Dunze or just sticking and picking Joe Alt, who is way too good to drop this far? And do we just screw the Jets here that are picking at 8 and take Joe Alt? I think that Romo Dunze, it's like your Mike Evans V2 type of player. I think he's actually a good mix between Godwin and Evans, so he might pan out as a player you like there. I haven't gone receiver for them often, especially here. If Malik Neighbors is here, you're definitely thinking about it though. And then Jets, no-brainer, Joe Alt. And this is a no-brainer for me. If we can't go defense, you're not even considering corner Kool-Aid McKinstry or any Jerzon Newton type players that can help in positions of needs. It's JC Latham to replace Trey Pipkins the third or second or junior, whatever he is. JC Latham, my opinion, comes in as better right away. At number 10, another place that would be good for offensive tackle, but unfortunately they're gone. You could choose Amarius Mims, who's more of like a Broderick Jones where you're gonna have to develop him. Talise Fuaga, you'd have to develop his pass pro, but already great against the run or great in the run game. And Tennessee Titans likes to run the ball. I don't know if you really have any other option. Keon Coleman's good, and you're not gonna reach down for quarterback. I think you'd rather stay with Will Levis. And now that I think about Will Levis being your quarterback, it'd probably be Keon Coleman, just someone to say F it. Keon's down there somewhere, go up and get the damn ball. Now this Raiders team is definitely quarterback worthy. It's just which one do I want? Drake May, Caleb Williams, obviously already off the board, and that's only amplified here with the offense only little challenger thing we've got going. JJ McCarthy might be here. I know a lot of people like him. I'm not particularly a JJ McCarthy guy, but in terms of upside and prospect and age, player, all that good stuff, you're probably looking at JJ McCarthy here. It's crazy. I probably wouldn't do this if I was doing like a for real mock with both offense and defense. I probably just wouldn't fit McCarthy with the Raiders. Now with the Saints, another quarterback needy team, but you do have that Derek Carr contract that's really going to shoot you in the foot if you don't sit the guy for a year. You end up sitting Derek Carr and how much he's worth on a bench. It's not what you look to do. It's not ideal. But Jaden Daniels, Louisiana to New Orleans, like that could just be super fun. Bo Nix, in my opinion, is more NFL ready than Jaden Daniels and perhaps Michael Penix as well. It's just all like, what do you want to do here? And I'd rather evaluate my options. But with the receivers off the board that are off the board, you're probably not looking at interior offensive line. Talise Fuaga is still here. Might have to pull the trigger. Tackles might find their way off the board a little earlier as well because they're taking away that defensive presence here in the draft and the selection. Only one tight end was pretty much viable for a first-round pick, and that's Brock Bowers. I'm going to take Talise Fuaga. It's probably not a liked pick, but I'm going to do it anyways. And now on to my favorite team, the Green Bay Packers. And that sucks because Talise Fuaga is definitely my pick here. Amarius Mims, I'm gonna go make sure he actually plays left tackle and I'm not just like faking myself out, because it is important which side, you know, tackles play on. He is, where is he? Left tackle, and where's right tackle? So okay, he is a right tackle. I'll take Amarius Mims here for the Packers, and it is very important, by the way, and this is our lads.com with NCAA football depth charts in case you guys are curious, and it's stuff to look at for sure. You want to know what side, and it matters in like mock drafting and drafting in general. So Amarius Mims obviously here, but let's look at some of the defensive players that are available. Kool-Aid McKinstry is the #1 defensive guy in this class to this site. I wouldn't like really say that. Leatu Latu, obviously, Jared Verse, Dallas Turner, Jerzon Newton, Nate Wiggins, Chop Robinson, Cooper DeJean. The next best offensive player on the board on this particular board is Emeka Egbuka. I mean, Jaden Daniels is probably a better prospect, but I don't know. I don't know what we'll do here. Number 14 for the Rams, probably another offensive line needy team. Graham Barton's probably a guard or center. Same with Fautanu here, or Fautano, however you say it. There's differences in every single team. Do you just pick Bo Nix here? I'm going to take him. Bo Nix at 14. Screw it. I don't see how this isn't Emeka Egbuka. Say you lose T. Higgins and you are left at number 15. If you had defense available, though, there's probably better options than to take another receiver. I don't mind Charlie Jones as much, but if he's still playing a prominent number 2 role, you're probably not in a good spot. Give me Emeka Egbuka here. Ooh, that really puts Bills in a horrible spot, because the next 2 prospects here on offense are Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix. You have to scroll way down here. It's Adonai Mitchell, the next guy, unless I'm missing someone, which I do not think I am. It is literally Adonai Mitchell that's slated to be the next guy. And if you're just shooting for upside, Leggett and Brian Thomas, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell are all high upside players. It's just kind of how do you want to play it? What do you need? I think Brian Thomas is kind of similar to Khalil Shakir in terms of speed and ability. Xavier Leggett's really like unlike anything you have. I like to go Keon Coleman here most of the time for the Bills. I like Keon Coleman in that fit. And Xavier Leggett's a similar receiver, but has a little bit more run after the catch, run before the catch, athleticism. So give me Xavier Leggett here. It might look crazy, whatever it is. I don't care. I mean, if we're just picking for a specific team, offense only, limited options, Xavier Leggett at 16 to me is not a horrible pick. We're in the second half of this mock already, and it's Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, Leatu Latu, Jerzon Newton, Nate Wiggins, Chop Robinson, Cooper DeJean, Kalen King, and Jade Daniels just needs to find his way off the board, and then it'll just be on another even longer run of defense here, just left and remaining sat on the board. Arizona went Marvin Harrison Jr. Now tackle is interesting for them. I do like guard for them as well. I'll take Graham Barton here probably. I'll look around though. Like I don't want to just jump the gun. Already got receiver. You could go another. I don't really think you would. Rondale Moore still a viable option alongside Marquise Brown. Interior offensive line, it really brings nothing. So Graham Barton, who's slated to be pretty much a guard at the next level at this point, maybe even a center. Troy Fountain, same thing. Like I mentioned, he'll be someone that's viable here in this first round. Along with these 3 tackles, I think will find their way into this first round just because it is offense only. There's definitely a lower selection here with the Denver Broncos, who prominently edge, D-line, corner all seems to be a position of need. But quarterback, you're going to play Russell Wilson just through that contract. It just kind of when's your next void year and when's the best out and when is he going to retire? If he does, if he continues to play well, you might not even need a quarterback for the next 2-3 years, whatever it is. That puts you in a terrible spot if you pick a quarterback. But the one that I think would be better sitting is Jaden Daniels. It's such a bad spot for him, but and it's it's the Atlanta Falcons up next, where they probably are going to need either O-line or quarterback. It's going to be Michael Penix. That's so rough. That's very rough for the Falcons, who just miss out on a good Jaden Daniels type of player. If you guys want to go to my 3-round mock, I talk a lot about this fit right here with Atlanta and Jaden Daniels and what he could bring to that offense, along with receivers in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. It gets interesting for sure, but Michael Penix, it's a good quarterback. It's not as mobile as Jaden Daniels and doesn't really open up an offense or have that upside. Kind of screws Minnesota as well, who might also look to go quarterback. Spencer Rattler recently declared for the draft, and oh man, the next best guy is Adonai Mitchell not something you need. Interior D-line. Running back, is your running back 1 up here? Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL, still in mock draft simulators. Trey Benson's my RB1. Super fun player there. Do you just want to just absolutely crap on positional value and just go Trey Benson at this point? It gets difficult. You don't need a receiver with both KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison now emerging as the player he is. Definitely bigger needs elsewhere. Quarterback, you're not going to go Quinn Ewers. Interior and offensive tackle, you're fine at tackle. Could you take Fountain out here to play a guard spot? I don't think so. I think I have to go Trey Benson here. Terrible pick, but it's getting rough. This one, not so difficult for me. I might even take Johnny Wilson by the time this is done, by the way. Super 6'7", by the way. You know, this guy is 6'7", nearly 240 pounds, still ran at 21 miles per hour. I think yesterday, Thursday Night Football, I know it's probably different when this is posted versus when this is recorded. DK Metcalf was clocked in and going like 22 miles an hour, and that was the highest this season, like 22.3 miles an hour. And Johnny Wilson was clocked in at 6'7", 240 something, maybe 230 some pounds, going 21 miles an hour, just a mile an hour slower than DK Metcalf. Tremendous upside with Johnny Wilson, and we'll see how his name rises after the combine. I can already tell you there's a good chance. I'll go Adonai Mitchell here though. It's not like any receiver they really have. Alec Pierce, a deep threat with big body and contested catch ability. Michael Pittman Jr., I guess, kind of similarly profiles with Adonai Mitchell. Josh Downs to play the slot. Mitchell, and I don't know. You just build receiver talent, I guess. Seattle, I'm not going to take Quinn Ewers for them. Wide receiver, last thing you need, although you could account for Tyler Lockett a little early and go for like a slot and fast guy like Troy Franklin or Ladd McConkey here. Whatever you want to do. Interior offensive line continues to be a problem for him, so I'll just go Troy Fountain out here. Then this one becomes very easy with the Steelers. Give him Xavier Worthy. He is truly unlike any receiver they have. Extreme deep threat who can carve the middle of the field as long as stretch the defense out, get passes around the line of scrimmage. Deontay Johnson tends to drop some of those. I'm sorry. I don't mind Deontay Johnson. I just don't know really how much longer he's going to be in Pittsburgh. George Pickens has proved to be more of a one-dimensional player than people might have thought. Xavier Worthy, just a totally different skill set and a good pick at 23. In real mock drafts, I have him going around the same area as well, so that's why I call it good value here. I like the player. And for Texans, this is not like a bad spot for me at all. Imagine having Nico Collins and his big ass on one side and then Brian Thomas burning defenses on the other and then Tank Dell in the slot. That would be ideal to say the least. So Brian Thomas here at 24 to the Houston Texans. Now I wouldn't mind Patrick Paul taking him at left tackle where he would develop behind Teron Armstead and maybe get a few snaps in there each season when Teron Armstead is hurt, if he doesn't even retire this offseason. Running back, something to look at, but this is probably the most likely thing. Jatavion Sanders, just give me that while he's here. And then here at 26, and this is where I'm going Johnny Wilson. All right, it's just, I talked myself into it. It just works. Imagine Dak Prescott's accuracy with Johnny Wilson's catch radius. That could be so dangerous. Detroit in that same area, in need of a receiver. Been working with guys like Josh Reynolds and stuff like that. That similarly, come up with Troy Franklin's type of draft profile, where he's more of a quick, athletic speed guy that tends to actually work well after the catch versus getting downfield. So Troy Franklin at 6'3", he's a bit slight and might weigh in a little, or might measure in a little under 6'3". I'd go Troy Franklin here, just get a little run on receivers. You do have Graham Glasgow starting for you at guard right now, I believe, at left or right guard, and you can do Cooper Beebe here to kind of ensure that one up, or go Jackson Powers Johnson to come in and play center, and Frank Ragnow can flex out or do whatever you want and have that ability there. Or you go Troy Franklin, which I think is the right pick. And Jags, in all this rave about needing receiver, I don't see it. Zay Jones is there, Christian Kirk's a slot guy, and Calvin Ridley, and I don't mind Parker Washington at all. So we'll see how he gets involved maybe next year or the year after that. And not ideal. I think he was picked near the 4th or 5th round. Could have even been in the 3rd round. I don't know, but Ladd McConkey's on the table for me here. No matter how much I don't like wide receiver to this team this early. It is kind of a scuffed mock draft considering the circumstances. Tackle, there's still good ones on the board. Just another team that doesn't need tackle in my eyes. Cam Robinson, Walker Little, and Anton Harrison all there and all usable. Is Ladd McConkey really going to be my pick here? I guess with Cam Robinson on IR right now, he's sometimes hurt, sometimes suspended even. You could just pull the trigger and go tackle. I don't know. I'll have to look at Jordan Morgan. I know Patrick Paul's a left tackle. I'll have to check Jordan Morgan real quick. All right, I'm going to go Jordan Morgan here. Some of you guys might have a bone to pick with me after that. I don't care. Like, it's really nothing. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, you have Rashee Rice, who's been so much better after the catch than people thought. I saw it coming. I thought he was great after the catch. And even go back to my 2023 notes, and man, those weren't spot on, obviously. I don't think anyone was, but for what he is, I think a lot of people underestimated it and really looked at him as like a down athlete or whatever. I would say it's a slower guy that makes up for it physically, trucking and killing dudes on the field. Kansas City here, I like wide receiver for him, and Jalen Pope is more of a run after catch guy. Mekhi Corley, just an all-around receiver. Torrey Horton, same thing. Roman Wilson, a bit small. So Ladd McConkey, the pick for me at 29. And then San Francisco really doesn't need any help other than interior offensive line. In that center position, Jackson Powers-Johnson, that's the pick for me. He's played every snap, I think, of his college career at center. That could be that could be the West Virginia Frazier guy. I have to find his name real quick. Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. That guy, literally every single college snap he's ever had in a football game has been at center, and I think it's been for the last 3 years. So kind of stinks for him. Here with the Baltimore Ravens, what's their biggest need offensively? Tackle? I think Morgan Moses is fine, and on the other side you have Ronnie Stanley, who gets injured quite often, getting to a little bit of the older side. So you can just pick Patrick Paul, who I think is actually a good pick here, and fell quite a bit in this offense-only mock draft. And for the final pick of this thing, Jalen Polk, who's good around the line of scrimmage, catching nice quick screens, turning it into something. You don't really have that with, AJ Brown, obviously, just a freak in nature. Devontae Smith's a little too small to do that sort of thing, but he's a better route runner and deep threat than Jalen Polk could probably ever be. Polk kind of complements these guys well. Different sort of guy. You don't need bigger needs on offense, maybe interior offensive line if you really want to account for the future, but Jalen Polk makes that impact right away. So this offensive only mock draft is over, and it was quite fun. Why can't I see the overview? I think the site actually just went down. I'm not gonna lie. They do like maintenance every here and there. See how it says, oh, you guys can't see it, but it's just like a black screen. It says retry later in the top screen, so that's why. But we can look at our current draft, and Arizona with the 2 first-round picks did a good job. Probably my favorite draft class just because Marvin Harrison Jr. is involved. You can go down. Buffalo Bills had to improvise a little bit and still get a good player like Leggett. Cincinnati, we went Emeka Egbuka for him. That's right. I like that. Tyler Boyd is more of that slot guy for him with Higgins and Jamar on the outside. It's just weird. That whole situation, how much can change during this offseason. Jaguars went Jordan Morgan, not Morgan Moses. My Packers, Marius Mims, didn't like that. I'm going to be honest here, fully transparent. So yeah, that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, go down, subscribe, go watch any of the past content on the channel. I guarantee you will like it, and that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. Deuces!